So my dude, Punch Drug Boxing, just did a video. What was it titled? It was regarding Triple G. Yeah, Gennady Golovkin, Kazajo. Good fighter, man. Great fighter. Very cerebral fighter. Very, very good jab. Probably one of the best in the game to use a jab in a long time. Excuse me, at least in the last decade, of course. But let me see. I think Punch's title was if the question was if Triple G is overrated or if it wasn't a question, he's saying that Triple G is overrated. Now the thing is with Gennady Golovkin is there's a lot of how would you say? There's a lot of context, man. A lot of misleading context or context that's forgotten, right? Because for me, I'll put it like this. In this little live that I'll do right now, we can go from the beginnings, or we can just skip forward to what's beneficial now for boxing, even to Triple G fans like myself, or I guess boxing fans in general. But in my opinion, what Triple G right now is about 43. Obviously, he's past his prime. But now here's the thing: is like, would we want to match him up against, let's say, non-dangerous threats here forward, or we just do it like a B Hop, right? Like, because B Hop, when he was about 50, his ass was fighting guys like Joe Smith, Beirut, Shumanov, Kovalev, already in his 50s, or I should say late 40s, early 50s. I remember that for sure. So when we think about 43, I'm thinking, I'm thinking Triple G can give us like another two. Now here's the thing, guys. We're now in the era of Saudi sports washing, right? Riyadh season. And I kind of like wondered, I asked myself, why haven't the Saudis or why hasn't Turkey asked for Gennady Golovkin? Because straight up, I'll tell it like this, guys. Right now, straight up, Triple G would beat Chris Eubank Jr. He'd beat Chris Eubank Jr. And so that would be like a massive fight in the UK or maybe even Riyadh. And so what's the kicker, guys? The Saudis can pay for it, man, easily. You know. So what we know right now is that Triple G. I know he's busy, obviously with being part of the Olympic Committee, right? He's covering uh, the whole amateur program globally in set for the Olympics. But I mean, in my opinion, man, and you guys know me, man, I'm like straight up, man, straight up. Like, if Triple G needs some juice to get back in the game, hey, why not, right? Because when I talk about it, or when other cats talk about it, some guys get all soft, they get all scared, like, nah, Cuerpo, don't talk about that stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever. So if we're all down for it, hey, man, let Triple G hype himself up back into the game. Can he get back in the game? And so here's the thing, guys. I got some nice names for you. Why don't we get Triple G versus Andrade on Riyadh season? Make it in Riyadh. Both Andrade and Triple G will make some badass nice bags. All right. Would a guy like Eddie Hearn would Matchroom even get involved again? Maybe. Why not? Right? It's good for everybody involved. When I mean by Eddie Hearn, Golovkin, and Andrade, maybe the winner of Eubank versus Connor Ben could fight Triple G. Make it in Riyadh, man. We can do this, guys. I think Riyadh would easily. I mean, Riyadh. Golovkin would do it for. Let me say a quick hi out to Ferhat. Ferhat Yilmaz says hi. What up, though, Ferhat? I think Triple G would do it easily for a nice 15 or maybe 20, right? If you guys think Triple G is worth that much still, I think so. Triple G, that's another question, guys, is how valuable is Triple G's brand nowadays? I think it's still valuable. If we want to contextualize to sell Triple G fights now and in the future, at least like let's say at the most 2027, right? Triple G will be about 45. We could, in theory, say, well, Triple G was like the first guy to beat Canelo. I mean, yeah, it was a draw in the first fight. I don't mind. I don't mind if guys had Triple G beating Canelo, whatever, man. But my point is, you could sell that. You could sell that context of that circumstance. And believe me, Canelo is like No hard slouch to beat, especially back in the day. But here's what we know, guys. We can do it at 160 middleweight because Johnny Bake is a big ass middleweight, guys. Johnny Bake is big compared to Triple G. So why not? So what am I getting at? Hey, guys, maybe we can get Golovkin versus Lara. Can we still make that fight? We know the PBC nowadays. Good thing that David Benavidez is over Riyadh season, but maybe if Lara wakes up, Lara and the guys that handle him, maybe they can wake up and give us the final. By the way, how old is Lara? Is Lara up like 41? I don't even know how old Lara is. But Lara is probably the same age as Triple G. I ain't even joking, man. Let me do some quick shout outs here. Naime Chetin says, Merhaba. Merhaba. Yeah. Herkese merhaba. But Triple G, guys, like, what was I getting at? Oh, yeah. Andrade is a good fight for Triple G. Andrade is down for that. That was once upon a time narrative. Oh yeah, but I'm going back to what's his name, Johnny Bek. Johnny Bek, who represent Kazakhstan. Triple G can fluctuate from 160, 168. Why not? Triple G versus Eubank. Maybe they can even do that in the UK. But the point is, somebody needs to convince Turkey Al Sheikh. Somebody needs to convince Ring Magazine. Yo, Rick Reno. Rick Reno's the cat that's part of Ring Mag, right? Once upon a time, his ass owned boxingscene.com, if I'm not mistaken. Guys like that need to have a voice. We need to get Triple G back in the game. Call me crazy, man. Call me crazy, guys. Because you guys know me. I had Canelo versus Crawford. I had that a draw. I mean, really, for me, the round that kind of like messed up the whole thing with Canelo versus Triple G was round one. And, Canelo's dumbass, his ass let round one, he let that go like the first half of round one. If he had that, it would have been 7-5 easily. I mean, that's hard to say. I know it's hard to gauge because you can't predict predictions like that, especially after the post verdict. But I guess what am I getting at? Yo, I would have, believe it or not, if a guy doesn't have to come forward to Crawford, a guy like Golovkin, if he wants to be cerebral and fight from the outside with a jab, believe it or not, man, I even have Triple G versus Crawford a great fight for Riyadh season. You know? It's too hard to predict right now, but nah, I ain't picking Crawford to beat Golovkin just yet. Given the circumstances, styles, man, you don't gotta go to Crawford, man. Let Crawford go to you, right? El Trompazo, he says, saludos al cuerpo. I've also been on a lot of casual overlooks, Saul in the Crawford fight. Oh, yeah, yeah. Don't worry, Trompazo, we can get that later on. But I'm thinking about Triple G, man, because Triple G, for those of you that know it, in Spanish we say it's like un desperdicio, like a waste. Because Triple G, he's 43, but he still has like another 2 years, man. ¿Por qué no? I really want this. I want Triple G versus you, the winner of Eubank and Ben. Triple G versus Andrade. Because guys, these fights make sense because they ain't doing anything, man. Andrade is probably hungry for another fight. We ain't gonna get Janabek versus Andrade. So give me Kazakh versus Team USA. Give me a late bloomer in Triple G versus Andrade. Give me Triple G versus Terrence Crawford, guys. That's a good fight. Who else? Who else, guys? Did I already say Eubank? Triple G versus Lara. But again, guys, we need somebody to tell Turkey Al Sheikh, Riyadh, the Saudis that Triple G, the brand of Triple G, is still valuable. Don't let Triple G slide. Maybe that's what Punch is talking about. Maybe he's talking about like not so much that he's protected, but like nobody really hyped him up to face other opposition. The Riata Murata fight, that was a good fight. I don't mind that because Murata was what is a silver Olympian, right, for Japan. I forgot which medal he was. Let me give a shout out. Team No Lacking. He says, "Saludos, hermano, brother. Saludos, Team No." Let me know. I mean, what do you guys think, man? Would you guys like to see Triple G versus who? He ain't that old. Look, you guys know me. I've always been a big B-Hop fan. I'm a big Hopkins fan, big time, man. Just because he was doing it late in the game. And so B-Hop was what, 49, 50, 52, he retired. Golovkin's 43. He's got time in the game, man. Don't let it go to waste. Don't let that cerebral style go to waste, especially for us boxing fans that like to see cerebral boxing. Damn, some nice honeys out right now. Triple G is too old, man, but I know he still got that power. So there you go. So check it out. The last thing that goes is power. And of course, if you were to put Triple G versus, let's say, a Beck the Bully, that ain't a good fight for Triple G. I think Beck the Bully would probably stop Triple G, to be honest, man. I mean, just too much body smashing. Again, maybe some of you guys disagree, but you ain't gonna put him against no hard 168 fighter. But if you put him against like a light opposition at 160 or light opposition 168, why not, guys? Tommy says hi. What up, though? He says I like B Hop. He was one of the oldest champions. There you go. So Team No, don't forget that, man. Shout out to the classic and old school champions, man. You know, B Hop, he retired at 52. Okay. Beirut Shumanov was also from Kazakhstan. That's a badass hard hitter. So, you know what I'm saying? Some nice honeys out here. Look at some nice redheads. You like that, man? El Trompazo. If Crawford has to go down in weight, Crawford and Charlo was heating up after the Spence and Saud fight. Crawford has to go down in weight. Ah, what do you mean, like Crawford versus the Triple G at 160? I don't know. Maybe they make the. Oh, you know what, Trompazo? How about this? Damn, Trompazo just opened the books. I got some revelation now. How about this, Trump? How about? I mean, this should be badass. I thought they could make this because if anything, they would reserve the rematch for Canelo. But how about Crawford for how about Golovkin for Crawford's belts at 160? So we get another. So Gennady Golovkin gets an opportunity. Damn, that'd be a mega fight, guys, man. Obviously, Triple G's the underdog. Damn, that's a good one, Trump. I'm glad he reminded me about that for a second. I don't know if he reminded me, but kind of connecting the dots. But give me, damn, I should do a video on that. How about Crawford versus Triple G for the 168 belts? Damn, that's a badass fight, guys. Shout out to Trompazo. That was a good one. That was good. Let me see. Let me pin this one, man. Let me see. Yeah, pin the message. There you go. And Tommy says, hi, yo. If Crawford has to go down in weight, ¿qué dice este? No, if Crawford has to go down in weight, Crawford and Charlo is heating up after the Spence. Ah, yeah, pero ¿cuál Charlo? With the Germal or el pequeño Germel? Damn, I gotta get back on what's going on with the classic names, not so much of what's going on in the division. Porque right now, at least at 160, we got who do we got? We got Janabek. We got Janabek and Lara, right? Yo, Trump, what's the unification at 160 right now? Yes, Janabek and Lara. But so that means Carlos Adames is free. What's up with Carlos Adames? How about Triple G versus Carlos Adames? Maybe somebody can convince Turkey Al Sheikh, yo, since you didn't hook up Adames with the win against Shiraz, and we can boost up some more branding for Riyadh season, why don't you put Triple G versus Carlos Adames for that belt again, right? For a strap. So that's why I'm telling you guys that there's a lot of context, man. I'm a lot of misleading and how would you say unfinished context at 160 or maybe even Golovkin. Este, es Atómico. Copy, man. Saludos. Shout out to my boy. Go ahead and subscribe to Atómico right now. Atómico's on a hiatus. He's taking a little break. And let me say tacos. Yeah, man. That's taquitos, man. Don't even get me started with the tacos right now. If Crawford was to go down in the weight, yeah, yeah. Todavía sigues con eso. And yeah, no, yeah. But see, what Trump is saying, that's like very complicated, man, because all those names that Trump is talking about, I think stems for more fights in between them. Pero, I don't know, what I was saying let me see, to Atomico, ¿qué pasa con Triple G, man? I want to see Triple G back in the mix. I know it's asking for too much, but I mean, at 43, he's got a lot of time to recuperate. I want to see old school jabbing Triple G. What can he bring for us fans, man? Let's see. Trompazo, he says, Adamas, Lara, Janabek, Evet. Yeah, current ones. Let me do a quick little sip here. Shout out to Atomico, hitting the bag lately, looking good. I've been like in a week out, but I'm feeling good, man. I'm real busy nowadays too. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? Yeah, I mean, Triple G. Look, it, man. If the Saudis are all about money and about their branding, they definitely still need Triple G. And I think the reason why Triple G is not back in the game, and I don't believe all that stuff that he owns some stocks in the zone. I think all that stuff's obsolete. He ain't part of that. But Triple G needs new representation. He ain't part of K2 no more. Yo, I got a good one for you guys. You guys ready for this? I got a good one for you. Check it out, guys. What if Triple G reunites with Abel Sanchez? Like they end that old beef that they had. They get back, and then the boxing media goes crazy porque dicen, damn, ¿sabes qué? Triple G and Abel Sanchez are back at it for another 2-year run. ¿Te imaginas eso? That would be great for boxing, man. Abel Sanchez, Triple G give a lot to us. They give a lot to HBO. And there were a lot of fights that we didn't get. I understand that, yeah, we wanted Triple G, Andrade, Triple G con los Charlos. They wanted Triple G versus Canelo earlier. Pero, hey, man, everything's for a reason. I'm happy. Fans are happy. I'm sure Triple G's happy. Canelo's happy. HBO is happy. So, yo, it's a revival time, guys. It's time to revive the classic, otro clásico. Let's get Triple G versus Terrence Crawford, guys. Give me Triple G versus Andrade. Give me Triple G versus Eubank. And here's the kicker. El árabe lo va a pagar. Then let the Arabs pay for it, man. Yo, Triple G needs a voice. Golovkin, have a voice, man. Say your value, your worth. Let me see. What are some real quick, some quick shout outs? Tacos say Crawford ducking Benavides. I don't know about that. Team No Lag is Andrade versus Golovkin. Ward was calling out AJ, but I think Golovkin is the better fighter. Ole pues. Eso. Trump, who would win? Triple G. That fallout with Sancho's nasty. Yeah, yeah. Pero imagine Trump if they can make it again, man. Like they end that beef, they could sell this narrative. Taco says David Benavides takes over as the new pay-per-view. No, I don't need pay. I don't think pay-per-view is even around anymore. They don't exist. Pero I like that. Yeah, Benavides got a lot of work to do. He's got a lot of years, a lot of work to do, man. Cruiserweight's no joke, man. He needs to prepare good. El Trompazo dice, if Crawford was to go down in weight, if Crawford's gonna este Trompazo sigue con eso. Just for that, Trompazo, mira, voy a tomar esto para ti. Everything's good, man. What a good day. Las chicas andan afuera. Así es, man. Man, let's see. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? What other fight you want to see? He says. By the way, guys, I got good news because finally Queensberry, I finally see the tickets for because I want to go to Anthony Yard versus Benavides and I want to see Bam Bam. And I also want to see Devin Haney. And I seen the tickets. I might do it, guys, this week. Maybe in 2 days. I'll buy it and I'll go out to Riyadh. I got to ask some guys for some hookups. A ver si puedo hacer unas entrevistas con ellos, That's one fight I want to see real soon. I know it's already made, but that's the fight I want to see up next in November. Benavides and Yard. Oh, so speaking of that, Zurdo versus Opataya is a mega fight. 2026 for sure. Or at the very least, I don't know what's up with the WBC con este Badu Jack. Badu Jack's got to unify guys, man. I've been telling everybody for more than a year. And fans like to joke just because they don't know boxing. Yo, Opataya and Zurdo, they need to take that WBC strap. They need to take that strap from Badu Jack. Why? Because we can get undisputed at cruiserweight, guys. We need to get that brewing. That's good for their resume. It's good for their legacy. They need to do that fight. Yard got dropped from an old Triple G jab. Are you talking about the Kovalev jab? Yeah, man. Yard was spent, man. He was spent on fumes. He couldn't handle that last blow. Shout out to Yard and Kovalev for that. That was a good fight. He says Badu Jack is still with Al Heyman. Nah. Badu Jack, he's solo. He probably maybe get some advice, but Badu Jack kind of went solo in the whole Saudi world. He's a Muslim too. Oh, speaking of which, I'm glad you brought up Badu Jack tacos. Maybe we can get Beterbiev versus Badu Jack. That's good for, yeah, man. People are going to take my notes. People are going to take my notes. That means Badu Jack can be a two-time champion from 175 to cruiser. And I even said that before in videos before. Badu Jack stops, Badu Jack. Beterbiev stops Badu Jack. No question, guys. They're both old. How about that? They like to make fun of Badu Jack. They like to say Beterbiev's old. Okay, how about some 240-year-old timers? There you go, guys. Badu Jack is 42, if I'm not mistaken. Golovkin is 43. Come on. Let's make it happen. He says Oscar De La Hoya want to sign him the next superstar. ¿Quién? Oh, you talking about Benavides? Maybe, but I mean, Benavides don't need anybody now. As long as Saudi sports washing the 2030 is popping, Benavides is in good hands. What Benavides got to do is he don't need Al Heyman. That's what he don't need Al Heyman as the PBC. He's independent now. Hopefully he can do the right moves. By the way, man, if I go to Riyadh and I bump into Jose, I'm gonna have some talks with him, man. Some little consultado. I need to see Jose Benavides, you know. ¿Qué más? ¿Qué más? Only pues, I'm gonna cut out, guys. Thank you for this live. It was a good 20 minutes. And I want you guys to have a blessed day. Rock and rolling, guys. Peace.